Welcome to this Notesmaster Support Network video introduction. This video will give you a brief overview of the Notesmaster e-learning platform and how it will help your school and your community, specifically teachers and students, to interact around the learning material. Now, Notesmaster.com is the web address. The platform is an independently custom designed platform, so it's different to Moodle or Schoology or Fronter or Edmodo in that it's based around the curriculum. So this primary, secondary, curriculum, networking, authoring partners. If you run your mouse over each of them, they'll just flip over for you and let you know a little bit more about the platform. Critically, the Caribbean Examinations Council is a partner in the platform. They own 10% of the platform, and that allows Notesmaster to use tailored learning environments, and that is use of syllabuses. So Notesmaster uses digital syllabuses to guide educators and learners through their subjects. So these syllabuses are the CXC syllabuses. Very few platforms in the Caribbean are legally allowed to operate in this way. So this provides participants of the support network with a unique online learning environment. And in this video, I'm just going to guide you through the main areas of the platform. So if you scroll down the rest of the page, it'll highlight how you track progress, that there's a grade book, that you can manage your community, benefits for educators and learners, and also assignments, a little bit about the support network and how you get started. Notesmaster is an award-winning program, winning the United Nations World Summit Award for Best Societal Impact, one of several winners in 2015, and this was for a Notesmaster program in Namibia, which is in Southern Africa. Partners vary from commercial, such as Orange, to Examinations Council here, to the Commonwealth Open Schools Association, to the Commonwealth of Learning, and various ministries of education here, including a Ministry of Education in Seychelles. There's also an ongoing program with the OECS. So Notesmaster is striving to raise education standards and e-learning awareness around the developing world. And then there's a little blog here, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, if you want to get in touch. So how do we get started? The top has login or sign up. Same here, same here. This highlights the countries that are in these figures, how many resources are created by teachers. And Notesmaster is about allowing teachers to create their own learning materials. And these are how many learners are covered by the materials that have been created and the programs that are underway. And then this is the number of digital syllabuses on the platform. So if you haven't yet registered, you would click sign up. And then, of course, in the Caribbean, you would select Caribbean, choose your location. If you're in Barbados, the schools will load up for Barbados. If you select Jamaica, the schools will then load up for Jamaica. So you would select your school. You would then put in your email address, your password. You would choose your user type. And then, of course, once having selected educator, your category, whether you're a teacher or a principal, male, female, your name. You can upload a profile image if you wish, or just leave it blank and have the default. And then you'll select your subjects. So CSEC, biology, this will give you a copy of the biology syllabus in your workspace, which we'll show you shortly. Equally, information technology, you'll get a copy of the CSEC information technology syllabus. You can have CAPE, accounting, CCSLC, you can have as many as you wish. Accept the terms which highlight how you use the platform, cookie policy, privacy, Creative Commons, etc. Fill in these letters, which is a security protocol, which ensures that it's a human using the platform, and then click submit. Once you've submitted and logged in, you'll be greeted with some choices. Follow the prompts and you'll be guided correctly. If you have already signed up, click login, put in your email address that you signed up with, and click login. This then brings you to your workspace, and I'll just give you a brief introduction here. You know where you are because it says Workspace here on the left. This is who I am, Paul Robinson. This is for my mail, and this is an internal mail system. So the email address used when registering on the platform will be your external mail, so your Gmail or Yahoo. When you receive an internal mail on Notesmaster, it'll send a notification to your external mail. So this is not an external mail where you can then email someone else who's not on the platform. Then you have a calendar, and then you have your search bar. On the right-hand side, Workspace. Resources area, which is a public area. Workspace is your private area. So these two are linked in that everything you do in Workspace is private. You can find material in the public resources area and save it to your private workspace. Then there is classes, which allows you to create a virtual class, tell your students to register and add them to your class and use the gradebook features and other such. And I'll do a video on that to guide you. And then there's groups. So groups, if you have already signed up, if I'll click groups here, it takes you to this group area. And groups has a featured set of groups. And in the featured area, you might see a school group like Youth Reaching Youth, a Ministry of Education group like the Commonwealth of Learning, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports group for Belize, a program that Notesmaster is running in Belize, and CXC subject associations. Now CXC has a strong presence on the platform as we try to push e-learning more commonplace around the Caribbean. So you'll see subject associations, in this case Portuguese and Spanish. You'll see various ones here. You can find a group by clicking find, and then you can see other schools that have a bit of a presence. Now some groups are public where anyone can join, and in these examples here we have a program in Grenada starting, in St. Lucia, in Montserrat and in Antigua with their various ministries of education. And more examples, this is a CCSLC social studies group. CXC also have content activities where they create a range of materials on the platform accessible for all stakeholders across the region. So these are the content activity groups, open for anyone to join. If you wanted to find a specific subject group, you'd click subject, let's say CSEC, and then if you wanted to cycle through the business options or the information technology options, you'll see the groups will change to reflect what's in the various syllabuses. And as said, some are public here, some are private. Private groups, if I click on this, it's going to ask me for a code. If I need to agree and join, read the disclaimer, and then it asks me for an access key. So teachers, students, schools can create a group. Anyone can create a group. Make it public. I could create Dean's geography group or Paul's physics group or Michael's social studies group. And it would be something that I would have open for anyone to join across the region. Or I could make it private just for my students. Or if I'm doing extra lessons as a private tutor, I could create Paul's geography group and make it private, give my students the passcode, and they could create a profile on Notesmaster and join my group and access my material. So that is the groups area. And groups is quite specific in that you can create, you can find schools, select a location, and the support network is reaching out to all schools across Jamaica and the Caribbean. St. Kitts, Antigua, Grenada, the OECS will have a program introducing the platform to schools specifically, allowing them to take advantage of the content that CXC is creating, but also guiding their teachers in how to access material from around the web, as well as the material created here by teachers. So let's go back to the Workspace. Workspace is here. It's my private space, and it contains the syllabuses for the subjects I chose during registration. So if you selected IT, you'll have an IT copy of the syllabus here. Section, topic, specific objective. And it's under the specific objective that we create material. And that's where you would also expect to find material if any has been created and shared. So if I was to click add new content, I could create a resource. I could link to a resource. And linking allows me to link to any web page across the internet and add it to that specific objective. So if, for example, I am a geography teacher and I'd like a note on the water cycle, I could create my own note with create, or I could link to a web page that's already created, that's done nicely, and that will appear under the specific objective, respecting copyright because it will open in a new window. So we're not copying and pasting text from copyrighted material. We are linking a specific web page to a specific objective, making it easier. And therefore we're compiling material that we create, material that other teachers create, and material from around the internet. So think of it as a sophisticated filing system where you can file all of your learning material, all of your digital learning material according to the CXC syllabus. And then of course there's a quiz. Students need to be tested, reinforce the material they've learned. Quizzes allows us to create an interactive quiz. So there'll be separate video tutorials on each of these. Peer review. Peer review is available only for educators. If I create a resource here, a resource is the same as a note, is the same as a class note, is the same as a lesson, the same as a lesson plan. We tend to call them resources in the Notesmaster family, but when we say notes, class notes, it's the same thing. So if you create a resource in your workspace and you want everybody to access it, you have to first submit it for peer review, and that will allow other IT teachers registered on Notesmaster to see your material and approve it. If 5 or more click to approve it, similarly the way you would click to like a photo or a video after watching it on Facebook or YouTube, only once you have 5 or more can you then publish it to the resources area. So that is a quality control process overseen by the community, not by CXC, not by the team at Notesmaster. So the standard of material varies from very interactive, from teachers who are very comfortable with the technology and adding videos and inserting tables and using animations, to very basic resources containing perhaps just text, a couple of paragraphs. Now, there isn't a standard format that we insist on because people learn differently and people like to express themselves differently. So some teachers may use cartoon characters to convey a point, other teachers may use text, okay? Notesmaster critically allows you to take the material created by a teacher and build on it. So we'll do a quick demonstration at the end of this introduction. So this is my workspace, and in my syllabus for IT, the zeros indicate I have no material. So you start with no material in your workspace. This is your private syllabus. So the mechanics of the site is as follows. I'm an IT teacher. I go to the resources area. Caribbean is where I am at. I then select CSEC. I then select Information Technology, and I click IT. And here you see I have a range of resources available. I click the syllabus for section, then the topic, and under the specific objective, describe a general purpose computer system, there's 2 notes, major functions of systems. This one by Glenda, this one by Nazim. If I click on the one by Glenda, I have a choice. I can review the material, so this is nicely laid out. Could have a bigger title, but that's up to me to add if I choose to build on Glenda's work. This is the author here, Glenda from Barbados. Text, nice little spinning graphic to grab the attention, nice use of table or an image that I can see clearly laid out, and more information. This note, as you see here, it's published and it's been approved by 20 teachers. So I'm comfortable and assured of the standard here. I can print it, download it as a PDF, or mail it internally to another teacher or one of the Notesmaster community. If I wanted to use this note now, I can click Add to Workspace. By clicking Add to Workspace, I'm adding a copy of this note from the resources area to my private syllabus in my workspace. So I'm adding this note to my workspace. Click Add. Remove from workspace indicates that I've added it. Close the note. Go back to my workspace. In my workspace, I click on Information Technology, I click on Fundamentals of Hardware, Describe a General Purpose Computer System. So here in my syllabus now, in my workspace, is a copy of this note by this teacher, Glenda. Whenever Glenda updates this material, it's automatically updated for me. This is Glenda's copy. So every user who has saved a copy of Glenda's note will automatically get it updated each time she updates it. If I click on it, we see it opens for me. Now let's say I'm unhappy with certain aspects. Perhaps I wanted to enhance it a little bit or wanted to add a video. If I click copy, this will allow me to use Glenda's note as a template. It will save my own version of this note, which I can then enhance. And this is the key to what CXC are trying to do with their content initiatives. I click copy. The page reloads, and this is our editor here. So if I wanted to, briefly, I could make this title a little bigger. I could underline it. I could enhance it a little bit. So I can update this material. I could equally click on this image and we'll just go with this one. Highlight it. So if I wanted to change it to perhaps a video, I could click on the YouTube button. I could click on the put in the title, laptop introduction, let's say, and it'll search YouTube for a list of videos on laptops. Student laptop introduction. I click on that. I can preview the video. If I find it suitable, having watched it all the way through, I can then decide I want to insert this video by clicking Insert and Close. And the video will appear here in my table. I can then click on the video and I can then resize it. Now there's going to be a whole section of video tutorials on this, so please do not worry if you're finding this too much. Just highlighting what is possible. So here I have shrunken the video down. If I click play, it'll play on my page. A little small, but we'll be able to see it. And I can then expand it. So I'm just showing you that I can enhance the work created by other teachers. I save it, I close it, and in my editor, I leave the editor, excuse me, and in my syllabus now you see I have my version, Paul Robinson, that's me here, and Glenda's version. So Glenda's version looks like this. My version looks like this with the video in the center. So we can use material that we find as a foundation, and that's what we're trying to build and create a sustainable effect of new digital resources, teachers becoming authors, not reliant on textbooks anymore, being able to add images, add videos, add presentations. And this then is private in my workspace. Put the mouse over it, you see it says personal resource, it's a personal resource, whereas this one from Glenda is a published resource. So there'll be more videos on how to create your own material shortly. The last thing I'll show you here is classes. Now classes allows a teacher to create a class. So you would be able to create a new class, put in your title, let's call it geography. And again, there'll be a video on this. Set your school year, 2017, 2018. How many grading periods, terms you wish to have, 3 terms. I'm a CSEC teacher, let's say humanities, and let's say, let's go to sciences. And let's look at geography. Here we are. I click next. I can have a grading scale for any assignments that I set for my students. Go for the default. I can assign categories if I wish for the different assignments that I set my students. And I can add principal overview. So I can add my principal to this class. So the principal will be able to look at how my students are performing and how I am performing. And then I can search for my students, all students, select Jamaica, and I'll get a list of all the students who've signed up from Jamaica. And then I'll be able to create my class. And here is my class. I'll click on it, and in my class, I'll be able to set assignments that students will be able to take and submit online to me. I'll be able to take attendance. I'll be able to track the activity of the student, how often they've visited and any questions they've posted or material they've shared. I'll be able to analyze the difference between boys and girls and particular students in my class. My students will be able to post questions to me and I to them. And of course my syllabus. So my geography syllabus, complete with all of the notes that I have either saved from the workspace, customized, created myself, or linked from the web, will appear here. So this will be a virtual environment for all of my students to get absolutely everything they need. So at the start of the year, I may have 5 assignments or 10 assignments ready. And when a student logs in and registers on the platform and joins the class, they will automatically have a copy of these assignments in their workspace. So that's the introduction to the Notesmaster platform. You'll see Need Help up here. Click on the question mark. It'll give you a breakdown of how this particular area works. All sections have it. For example, again here in the workspace, people asking questions about the site, having problems, how do I fix this, can you help me? And video tutorial here to guide them. So thank you for this introduction. Find your group, join your school group, and then look out for the next video, which will focus specifically on using your workspace to create material and then using the resources area to find, search for, save, and as we saw, copy material. Okay, thank you very much for watching.